Namaste, angels. This is the weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, July 12th through Saturday to come, the 18th. We're going to get right into it, beginning with the one feast day that we're going to go over this week. And it does fall on the 16th of July. And I have two people that I know with that birthday. It does equal 7-7. For those who haven't noticed. And it is a day that is attributed to Mary in general. And of course, 7 equals God. So you have that extra. It's a very holy day. 7 equals God in a few different numeric languages, actually. In numerology, in angel numbers, in supreme math. It's pretty commonly accepted that 7 equals God. This particular holiday that we're going to talk about used to fall or almost fell. They almost put it on 7/17, which is a day that is more so attributed to Lilith, if you ask me. And back in 2016, I remember there was a lot of Lilith energy in general, not just in the month of July, not just in the 17th, but the entire year. That was the year that we had Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. And I had about 5 different clients, the couples that were together, like living together, cohabitating, the masculine just up and move out, like all the same week. It was all during this Black Moon Lilith period, where very unexpectedly they left the house. But it's unexpected to them and to me, of course. But in explaining to them what the Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio was all about, it made sense. And they ultimately returned. But that was a really heavy year. So also that year, there were people trying to get, trying to trick people into celebrating the 17th. And I had pointed that out to my channel and my viewers that exactly what it was. It was a scam, basically, to try to get people to worship the devil and whatnot. It was a weird thing. We used to deal with a lot. The people that awakened back in the days and stuff, and that were awake back in 2016 when the energy was really, really heavy, prepping for all of this that we're experiencing now. We dealt with a lot of funky stuff. So I say all that to say, I'm pointing it out because this holiday, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, which is one we're about to briefly read about, was almost celebrated on the 17th, and it was moved to the 16th. And I'm sure that's why Mary had it moved, energetically, is because she's like, the 17th is for that other mother, right? The dark mother. This one's for me. Anyway, let's see what they have to say about it. Our Lady of Mount Carmel is the title given to the Blessed Virgin Mary in her role as patroness of the Carmelite order. The first Carmelites were Christian hermits living on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land during the late 12th and early to mid 13th century. So, of course, 13, I've pointed out many, many times, a number connected to Mary and mother energy in general, right? They built in the midst of their hermitages a chapel, which they dedicated to the Blessed Virgin, whom they conceived of in chivalric terms as the, quote, lady of the place, end quote. Our Lady of Mount Carmel was adopted in the 19th century, the number that represents father. I'm not surprised to see 13 and 19 so closely together. That's when she was adopted as the patron saint of Chile in South America. Since the 15th century, 15 equals 6, another number that we've learned is associated with Mary, popular devotion to Our Lady of Mount Carmel has centered on the scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, also known as the brown scapular. Traditionally, Mary is said to have given the scapular to early Carmelite named Saint Simon Stock, who lived from the year 1165 or 1111 through 1265. So he lived to be 100 years old. The liturgical feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel is celebrated on July 16th. The solemn liturgical feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel was probably first celebrated in England in the latter part of the 13th century. Its object was thanksgiving to Mary, patroness of the Carmelite order, for the benefits that she had accorded to it through its difficult early years. The institution of the feast may have come in the wake of the benediction of their brothers of the Blessed Virgin Mary at Cambridge in England in the year 1374, 13 and 11. The date chosen was to be the 17th of July on the European mainland. This date conflicted, however, with the feast of Saint Alexis. I think it conflicted with Mary, period. And she said, get that date out of here. So it required a shift. They had to change it to the July 16th date, which remains the feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel throughout the Catholic Church. The Latin poem, Fios Carmeli, meaning flower of the Carmel, first appears as the sequence for this Mass. And all of that came from wikipedia.org. And there's plenty more to read about if anyone is interested on the history and on the Carmelite order and church teachings and so on. Miracles that are associated with this feast day and this patroness. On the planetary or celestial calendar, on the 12th at 4:26 a.m., Mercury goes direct, 5 degrees Cancer. Also on the 12th at 7:29 p.m., we'll experience the quarter moon, 21 degrees Aries. And then July 16th at 8:24 a.m., Saturn will be quincunx the true node, which is currently Gemini. So you're going to have Saturn, Capricorn, and Gemini in a transit together. And that's it for the planetary transits for the week. I won't explain what it means for Mercury to go direct, because I think that most of us know at this point. So let's see what the dice have to say. We're beginning with cocktail, dirty movie, and email. Spirit says yes. Still cocktail. And dirty movie. So maybe an exchange of pictures, videos, either, between two people, or maybe there's something else sensational that goes around the country or around the globe. And we have, videos are being shared all over the place and pictures of a particular subject, which is already going on right today with August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith and stuff like that. There's all kinds of pictures and postings. But this is for next week. So if it involves them, I guess something might intensify through the week, but it doesn't have to involve them. I'm just giving an example of the kind of thing it can be if it's more than just a personal issue, an individual issue would be, you and a friend or romantic interest or mate or business connection or something, sharing pictures or video or information or conversation via text, or maybe talking about online dating, maybe doing some sort of virtual dating or something. Maybe that's why the cocktails come in. You connect via video live or something, and you each have your cocktail in your hand or something like that while you do it if you can't get together in person. That is what dirty movie means to me. So I was originally just going to work with these two decks today for the general reading. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to do the other one. And after I shuffled this and got it all ready, I was just about to start. Like, we put the camera on and stuff. And then something said, you know what? Shuffle the other deck. And I ended up with on the Ace of Pentacles on both of them. So that's when I decided. I'm now picking up two cards. That's when I decided that I was meant to go ahead and use them again. The Rider-Waite deck. But let's start with this one. The Ace of Autumn, or Ace of Pentacles. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion, or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. And I feel that this could be very much tied to Mercury, and it could free something up that had been like in limbo, or yeah, I guess that's the best word I can try to think of. So something that maybe you otherwise would have, some money or something that maybe would have otherwise come into your hand a couple of weeks ago, it was stuck, and it's finally coming to you. It doesn't have to be money, though. There's other forms of abundance. Again, it could be a serendipitous meeting even. So maybe like the meeting had to continue to be put off, possibly because of, COVID or something, quarantine, what's been going on around the globe. So you had to put off a meeting, or maybe you had to move it to video or something, reschedule, wait list. I don't know. But I just feel something coming back from the past, and that would make sense with what the next card is. It is Major Arcana card 14, Balance, or Temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents the planet Jupiter most directly in the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So, of course, Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion, karma, luck. So, and he too is retrograde currently in the sign of Capricorn. And so that makes sense with the Pentacles. If the planet of luck wants to bring you, luck from where it's located, that would be finances, or, some sort of material abundance or asset or something like that. Also, though, aside being about the sign of Aquarius for me too, because there's like almost always, no matter what deck one uses, there's almost always like a water bearer looking character on the card. This deck is no different. There's an angel standing in a pool of water, pouring water between two vessels here. To me, that's a water bearer. So it always brings in the sign of Aquarius for me as well. All about freedom, humanitarianism. So it could be, again, on a large scale in terms of humanity. This can be about recovery, right? Making a comeback. Countries, cities, states reopening all over the globe, making a comeback, doing a lot better than they had been. Some countries and states more so than others, but yeah, we're all trying to reverse the effects and things. So it could be like that on a large scale, but on a more personal scale, if there was some, again, money, work, asset or something that you lost, that was taken away from you, there's some sort of lack, like a hole. This card is a card for me of restoration, recovery. Where something was lost, it's returned, or you get it back, or it's replaced in some way. And together, I definitely think that that's the message there. But the next card is also upright, and it's the Knight of Earth, which to me is indicative of it's been like a long time coming. And I don't think anybody's been like completely wiped out. Like they just, if they lost something in like a lump, maybe their job, and so that represents a lump of money, or there was some sort of financial loss or something. Again, possibly because of COVID. I mean, so much has been going on around the planet, and people have, again, lost whole jobs and businesses and things like that. This is about like slow, consistent though, abundance or whatever. So it could be like a paycheck, it could be like an unemployment check, or something. But then attaching it to this, and maybe something coming from the past, it could be representative of that, of like somewhat like the delay that's had been. That this is representative of a long time coming, that we've been waiting for this, and now finally here it is. Because the Knight of Pentacles, Knights are about action, right? So like the Page of Pentacles, for example, if we had that card, would bring news of abundance that's coming. And the Knight of Pentacles is representative of it actually happening. It's the action, but this sort of slow and steady wins the race. So it could require patience and stuff. So I think that's what's happening there. And it's on the heels of like difficulty. So the difficulty is the time when we were having some sort of financial constraints, or again, or loss. Maybe loss of actual employment, or our business, or investors, or something like that. It's the end of a difficult situation though now, so we can look toward the future. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. You may even be recovering from some sort of addiction. It's possible. Now, how are we making it back? How are we going to making it to this recovery? Because we persevered, right? The Nine of Fire is a representative of us having kept on going and pushing and not giving up. And it tells us to still not, right? We're still in this process, and There is a new beginning ahead. We're almost to the end of the finish line and we got to make it. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. For some people, this is having to do again with businesses, with jobs, with our finances and stuff. For others, it may be relationships. The Four of Air for me is also a card of recovery, restoration, recovery. Could be actual rest. And, you know, you can finally like rest easy, get some sleep. You don't have to continue to be anxious and sitting up all night, worrying about, you know, what's to come, what the future holds, and whether you're going to be able to pay your bills or not. It's time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Four of Swords, also a card that comes, you know, that follows obviously the Three of Swords, which is another card similar to the 10 that we just saw, that is indicative of difficulty, pain, loss, separation. So all of this is a reversal of that. Again, it's making some sort of comeback. And for some, a completely brand new start, brand new path, never walked before. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith, says Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which is actually the Fool in the traditional tarot. And that was the last upright card. So going to this deck, the Rider-Waite, again, we have an Ace of Pentacles with which we're beginning, just like on this deck. So I think this is really promising when I see two aces, in a general sense, when it's just two aces, not even necessarily the same suit, it already for me is an indication of maybe more than one new beginning. So it could be a new beginning and financial increase on one hand, and could be a new beginning with a relationship on the other. When it is two of the same suit, to me, on top of that, the energy is doubled, is like really, really, you know, strengthened. Also, there can be some sort of indication of a move, yeah, like a move, a house move to a new place or something, or maybe you're getting information about a brand new beginning, like with the Fool, some sort of taking a chance, taking a risk, applying for an apartment, or putting in a bid to purchase a home, or, you know, putting your home up for sale, and having it really be like a seller's market, like in your favor, where you can get the asking price and you don't have to take a loss. Because remember, this is about like recovering what we lack. And I just think the aces are showing up double to even strengthen that message as well. For your business, it can be about some sort of major purchase or something. Maybe you're getting new computers. Maybe you came into some money. You got one of those, what are the PPP loans or something that they've been talking about in the news, because a bunch of people that didn't deserve them, also, like, you know, people in government and stuff apply for them as well, and they got them. But hopefully some people who actually did deserve them, some small business owners, maybe even some of you who are watching, you applied and so you got this PPP loan, and now you can afford to buy like new computers, or I don't know, smartphones or iPads or new registers, or, you know, something, increase in the technology. And maybe I'm getting the technology from the Mercury part. Mercury is a ruler of the sign of Virgo. So that could be what the pentacles are attached to, the energy of Virgo, perhaps. Just finished talking about hermits, right? The hermit in the tarot represents the sign of Virgo too. So that's a possibility. In terms of love and romance, it can have another meaning that's just as positive. It can be about buying stuff together as a couple. Maybe even, again, cohabitation, because I said it could be about a home, purchasing a home, or moving into a new apartment or something like that. So maybe the two of you, or maybe you're buying stuff for your apartment so that you can like relocate as a couple. To the not, I won't say the negative side, but the not as positive perspective, with regard to a couple, it can be like you're having difficulty moving from the beginner stage. But even that, with the other cards that we saw here, I think that there will be growth. Again, Jupiter is all about growth and expansion. And we just saw the Temperance card. And that could even be like maybe you couldn't make it past the beginning stage because you had the differences that you have between you. You know, maybe one is black and one is white, and that was a struggle. You know, one is in the closet, one is out, and so that was a struggle. One is older, one is younger, that was a struggle. One is, you know, pretty well-to-do. One is working class or out of a job or something. So that was a struggle because our pride and our ego and, you know, all these things fear can get in the way when we have those kind of differences. But temperance can be about figuring out a way to come together despite the differences, right? And to get rid of any conflicts. You see, it's Major Arcana card 14, which equals 5. And 5 can be about conflict. Like the 5 of Swords is about conflict. The 5 of Wands is about conflict. And the 5 of Cups can even be about being conflicted, right? And disappointed or pessimistic. So you're already planning on being conflicted and upset. And the 5 of Pentacles similarly can be about, you know, like worry and stuff about lack too. So that's like another form of conflict. I think this week we'll pull out the stands for the Rider-Waite cards so we can look at them all. I mean, I try to position them on the table so that everybody can see them. But I think we'll do this week. Got these not long ago to use in like the readings that I do over like Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. And you know, I just feel like let's use it here too. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put the cards out. Do I need both? I don't know if I need both of these, but let's do it. So here's the card for the fire signs. It is the Hangman. Upright. Fire signs. That's your card this week. Here is the card for the earth signs. So fire, this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Earth, this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Both of these are water. That's what I was sort of focused on. The Hangman most directly represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune and dreams and goals and spirituality. The Chariot is a card of victory, most directly represents the sign of Cancer, is about moving, potentially, movement. So whether physical or metaphoric, it's about progress. It's a card of victory because again, it's forward movement. It can be about modes of transportation. So maybe, like I said, a big ticket item that you're purchasing, a new car or something, or a ticket to travel. The 4 of Swords, which we also saw, can be about planning a trip for me. Relocation is possible. Especially, again, as a couple and stuff, that sort of cohabitation, let's move together. So maybe that's what's going on with some of the earth signs. And it would line up with the aces of pentacles, the 2 aces of pentacles that we just saw, because that's their energy and their element. Further to that, of course, the sun is currently in the sign of Cancer. And not only is the sun in the sign of Cancer, but Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, that might be it. But isn't that plenty? All also not only in the sign of Cancer, but retrograde located there. And not Cancer, in Capricorn, which is Cancer's opposite axis. So the mirror sign of the sign of Cancer. Air signs. Why can that's my element. That's my element. Why was I stuck? Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our card is the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. So about the past, again, maybe something that was a long time coming, similar to the Knight of Pentacles. or something from our past. We applied a long time ago. It's now just finally showing up, or we did the work a while back. It's now coming back in our lives, or it's a dream, a plan, a goal that we had from years ago, or maybe even from our childhood. It's now coming back. It can be about exes and things coming back into your life too. Six of Cups, also a soulmate card. And lastly, for the water signs is Major Arcana card 5, the Hierophant, which most directly represents the sign of Taurus. This is interesting because the same reason I was just stuck here a moment ago with this Cancer energy that is for the earth signs. Now we have a Taurus energy that's for the water signs. And so maybe there is some Cancer, Taurus, and or Cancer, Virgo, most specifically, you know, I would say Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, maybe in that order, connections. And I guess I'll put our overall energy here, right? So, okay, everybody can see everything. So, just a quick thing. I think most of us know what the Ace of Pentacles represents, or it's one of those kind of cards that you can look at it and see what it represents, but it just, you know, so everybody understands, it definitely can also be about just feeling optimistic and upbeat, not just a new thing coming in, really hopeful about life and our future, and things should just be going well in general when the Ace of Pentacles shows up. So it should be a good week for people, you know, from a general sense, and we should all look forward to starting something new in some area or aspect of our life very soon. It could definitely be in the area of work specifically and or finance, or it can be a personal issue, but you know, Pentacles, again, representative of like coins and money and stuff like that. Specific to just about any area of our life, it's positive. It can be a very spiritual card too, guiding us to try something new spiritually, and maybe that would mostly align with the fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, your card is Major Arcana card 12, the Hangman, which is a super spiritual card and can be about coming to some sort of crossroad, you know, only having like two options, pro or con, yes or no, up or down. And you just got to try to figure out what is meant for you. It can be a card that's representative of feeling like you're in a place of limbo, some sort of holding pattern. You know, there's a weight, there is, and you get, it's sort of like nervous. You know, you could find yourself like pacing and stuff because you just feel like you're on hold. You're on pause, and you don't necessarily know why. It's all a clear indication, because it's like nervous energy, like I said, like pacing and stuff. A clear indication that you just need to like stop, pause, relax, and look at ways that you may be able to, you know, release those energies or of things of which you may need to let go. You may need to let go in general of trying to control situations and things in your life and just let them flow organically. Hang in there and just let things happen. It can also be about like old, outdated ideals or attitudes, and just, again, the energy, negative emotions and stuff onto which we've been holding that we just need to let go of so that we can move into a more clean and positive, light and lighthearted energy and move forward. Do I need to tell you guys anything about in love too? So if some of you are wondering how it might apply to your love life, it's also about letting go there, not necessarily of a relationship, but maybe of your idea of a relationship, or of how the relationship was supposed to go, or of aspects of the relationship that don't work for you and or your partner. It can be about a crossroad there too in that area of your life as well. Moving on to the earth signs, again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Your card is the Chariot, as we pointed out, and this is a card of ambition, which you guys are very goal oriented, and the Knight of Pentacles, which we saw on the other deck, is the only knight in the tarot that is said to always reach their goal. And it's very, very earth sign, you know, that totally you guys element. You're committed, you're dedicated. Of all of the zodiac, you guys are the most. and tend to be the ones to finish what you start and all that kind of stuff. So that's what this card is about, just getting things done. Showing the world you've got what it takes to make things happen. I'm already a believer, convincing other people that that's what you're about. And you should definitely move forward, whatever it is you have in your mind or heart or soul to do. If you've been focused on some sort of dream or goal, could be, taking on some of this energy too from the fire signs. Maybe you're a Cuspian, maybe just receiving the energy. Some sort of dream or goal that has been on your mind, your heart, your soul to fulfill. It's definitely a good time. And it could be because Neptune also is in retrograde currently in the sign of Pisces, which it rules. So maybe that's why you're feeling these things come up in your life. Definitely go for it. Remember, though, that you'll need to use all of your, the positive traits and information and things that you have available to you. So your intellect and, again, your heart, what's in your heart to do, what's in your gut to do, what your intuition telling you to be truly, truly successful. Spiritually, you may travel to places that can help you, or that you feel can help you to increase some sort of spiritual awareness. And that could just be as simple as, local travel, going down to a park or buy some water or something where you could meditate, or somewhere where you feel you might be able to learn something about a spiritual matter. So maybe a temple, like a Buddhist temple, or any kind of temple, really, whatever to which you feel drawn. Maybe one of these spiritual shops where they have books and stuff, or a library, somewhere where you can learn something. Don't be afraid to attend a seminar or some kind of talk, or to contact somebody, maybe not unlike myself, that is able to give spiritual counseling. I don't go around talking about myself and stuff in general. And I'm not saying that that's good. I'm not saying that's bad, because it could probably go either way. There's something to be said for self-promotion, but there's something, there's things to not say about it too. But I'm actually a licensed and ordained non-denominational, non-religious pastor. So I'm not just because I have a channel and I know tarot or I know numerology or something, but I'm otherwise sort of qualified and certified to give counseling. So somebody like that, maybe you want to speak to. I'm just feeling something about you guys needing to, or the fact that you could benefit from increasing some sort of spiritual awareness or knowledge. I guess that's it. I thought I was feeling something about health for a second, but I think I lost it. I apologize. If it comes back, I will go back to you. You guys know I tend to pop around and stuff like that, sort of randomly if things come up. So air signs, let's get to us. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia, right? How things used to be, or your past relationships, whether they are familial, business, friendship, romantic. You could be thinking back on them and maybe, again, bringing something to fruition or reality now from your past that was never completed. And that's actually a Gemini trait, to often not complete stuff. But this could be a time where you turn that around, where you use the energy from our ruler Mercury, currently located in Cancer, and you do complete what you have to do, or what you've been wanting to do for a long time. I am getting something for health issues for us, though. If you are experiencing some sort of illness, I was trying to look for a different word, not illness, because I don't mean like COVID and stuff like that. I mean, you're feeling physically unwell, but I'm not talking about like COVID and stuff. So something else. there is something that is tied to the roots of your past, your childhood, that you should be looking into if you're experiencing some sort of health problems. If it's emotional and or mental illness, or a sense of being unwell, then of course therapy, or again talking to some sort of counselor, whether it's a spiritual counselor or it's a psychotherapist, or something, that can be helpful. You may need to ask your parents or a relative. Understand that not all of us have parents, but what you're experiencing may be something that is genetic and runs through your family. So that's why you need to go back to your roots in order to get a handle on it and get control of it. And I do feel that everything will be all right with you. I can pull another card to sort of clarify to see what that says. But yeah, I'm already feeling that everything will be all right. And this card is very positive and feeling, right? I just get a very good sense when I look at the card. So I feel like everything will be okay, but it requires you to get a handle on it. In a more general sense, because of course that doesn't apply to everybody, or it's not going to apply to everybody. We're not all walking around unwell or feeling, like we have some sort of health issue. I don't think. So in a more general sense, it's, again, about looking back and also being careful not to get stuck there and not to fall into a pattern where you can use improper language about yourself or over your life. Like, my best years are gone, like all that kind of stuff. I don't even really like saying it to y'all for an example, because I don't want the universe to think I'm talking about me, like my best years are gone. Then my best years are ahead of me, right? But we can get stuck in this sort of headspace of all that time I wasted. I can never get it back. And it's true, we can't recapture time. But we should always be thinking positively and forward moving, that our best is yet to come, right? All the time that we spent doing whatever it was that we spent, that we're now looking back on sort of regretfully, was the purpose was lesson learned. So until we can see it that way, maybe we haven't completely even learned the lesson, and we need to spend some time on those issues or concerns until we get to that point, and then move on from that, right? Don't get stuck there. Same thing, pretty much, like if you're in a relationship in terms of love, then even there, you may need to sort of get a new focus toward the future. Don't stay stuck in the past, or on, and especially not on negative stuff like arguments or things that you've experienced together that weren't necessarily positive or conducive to growth. Don't get stuck on them. If you can't get over something that you experienced, then maybe you need to discuss, separating, parting ways, or whatever. You've come to a crossroad too. And maybe it is with a water sign, right? With the cups. Yeah, you may have come to a crossroad too. Or maybe it's Pluto retrograde that's doing something to you. Whatever the case is, both people need to want to continue a relationship in order for it to move forward. So if that happens, definitely have a conversation with your partner or love interest. Water signs. Major Arcana card 5, the Hierophant. This is also a super spiritual card, and it's about contracts and commitments, higher institutions. With Mercury going direct, it's definitely a safe time again that we're moving into, where you can sign a contract, enter a commitment, because, we warn against that sort of thing during Mercury retrograde. After the 12th, which is Sunday, you should be able to, get back into the swing of things, of conflicts, of contracts. The Hierophant is also very much about tradition and doing things the right way and doing the right thing. In terms of your love life, because I'm feeling that that's what you guys want to know about. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm just getting like romance. People like to see the Hierophant show up in this area because, again, it's about commitment, and it can even be about marriage, so deepening of commitment. But it's very traditional. So if you're trying to do something non-traditional, then this may not be your week, because it's not. It shows up to say like it's not the best time to sort of like buck the system and try to be different. It's more about going with the flow. Also, in a general sense, for me, the Hierophant can be about needing to make adjustments to the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves because we have outgrown them, right? Or our vibration no longer aligns with theirs. And so you need new friends who sort of understand your spirituality, or maybe even like a new job where they sort of follow the same ideals. The company policy and mission aligns with your ideals, so you're not having to sacrifice your integrity for a paycheck, or all of these sort of things. It can happen in relationships too. For example, one is racist, maybe one is homophobic, maybe, and the other is not. Well, how can we really have a relationship that's going to continue to move forward and grow if we're so different? This is not a difference of opinion. This is a difference in morality, right? If one is this way and one is this way. So what do? We're conflicted. We got to look for new people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves that match our vibration, or that's higher than our own vibration, from whom we can learn something. So tying it back to the overall energy, which we again have 2 times over, this Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings, maybe in your spirituality, and or in something requiring a decision, pro versus con. You got to pick one. Again, yes or no, up or down. With whatever this decision is you have to make, perhaps there's no middle ground. You got to pick one way or the other, and then there's a fresh start for you in that area. For you earth signs, again, the Chariot is a major card of victory. So it could be even you winning something, like, again, winning a bid for a home that you put in, or successfully getting the selling price that you're asking, or winning an opportunity for a position at a job, or, there's only a few placements and your resume is the one that got selected, or you had the best interview, they liked you best and you got it. So something like that, new beginnings that may be involving an aspect of winning and victory, and or moving or movement, whether physical or metaphoric. Air signs, new beginnings, maybe with a soulmate, or on something from your past that was incomplete. So a fresh start to make it happen, to bring a dream to reality, or just in life in terms of leaving stuff from the past in the past and looking toward the future and having a fresh start that way. Or again, planning now for your best life to be, and your best days to be ahead of you. And so that's your newness, like that's your new outlook on life. And water signs with the Hierophant, again, you could be entering some sort of new contract or commitment, or starting bonds with new people, places, or things that better align with your soul's purpose and resonate with your vibration, and vice versa. All right, so all of that, let's see if I can leave these out, if there'll be enough room on the table for me to leave these out but still move on to the other cards. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe not. I'll try. So we already went through all of these messages. Let's see if we can get some new, fresh ones to go along with our reading. There's a lot of piles here to sort of mix everything up fresh. That looks out of frame. Let's see. All right. I mean, I could take it off the table completely, and maybe I will, but if we're able to have them up and see what else we get, and perhaps some matches and stuff, that could be fun, I think. Is that better there? And that better there? I don't know. Okay. So now we have the 8 of Earth or Pentacles that we're beginning with. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. So the new beginning could come because we earned it. Like you did the work in order to get it. This is reaping what you've sown. You put in the effort. The outcome that's coming out is the opportunity. And the next card is not upright. It is the 9 of Earth. So we'll start from there. Crowning the masculine this week, the 5 of Water or Cups. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. So I talked about the 5 of Cups in some capacity before. I don't remember even why I brought it up, but it is about pessimism and doubt and fear and disappointment and sort of wallowing in self-pity and an energy of like, oh, woe is me, and failure to count one's blessings and sort of being unappreciative of what you have. All of those things possible with the 5 of Water or Cups. Surrounding the masculine, y'all just saw me mix up all these cards. And now I'm pulling these 5s. The same thing happened to me in my daily reading for my Patreon subscribers, actually. I had just spoken about the number 555 from the deck. Anyway, occasionally you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. I wonder if I could just put these here, if that would be better for you guys. Let's see. Is that in the frame? Should I just do that? Then we can't see the other ones behind it, but we can have the masculine and the feminine. I don't know. Like I said, it's my first time using it for you guys, so I hadn't planned on it. It's sort of random, but that's me, to be random. So this is like a test run, and next time we'll know what to do. Masculine subconscious, major arcana card 3, the Empress. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. So this is another card of new beginnings, fresh energy, fertile energy, new ideas, and using creative ways to help to bring about abundance for yourself, which can be another meaning for air signs for us in terms of our work. When the 6 of Cups shows up, it's a really good time to use your creative outlets in your work, like to earn money that way. So through some sort of art form or something, if you are so inclined to be able to do so, you should. Crowning the feminine this week. The King of Spring, King of Wands, inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring may be an actual person in your life. He may be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Mars, could be Jupiter themselves. And that energy, or just an indication that it's time for you to, again, step up and take the lead in your own life, if nowhere else. Surrounding the feminine, it is major arcana card 7, the Chariot. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, the repeats and the doubles. It is another Chariot. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and the recognition that you are receiving. So that's why it's a win. It's a victory. Again, the Chariot most directly represents the sign of Cancer. Feminine subconscious. It is the 9 of Spring, 9 of Wands, which we also saw before. you've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry, you'll get through them just as you have in the past. This is a card of perseverance and telling you to keep going, even if you feel, keep moving, even if you feel like, you know, it's not working, I'm down and out. No, you're actually almost to the finish line. So, crowning. It is yet another 5. The 5 of Swords now, 5 of Winter. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest outcome. So why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion, but be alert to the hidden agendas of others. All that stuff about conflict that I talked about, I guess that was why. Sometimes I don't know why I'm being made to go on about any one particular thing or another, but I do. I go with the flow, right? Whatever they're telling me to say, I just say it. There's always a reason. I may not know, like I said, I'm saying I may not know the reason at the time when it's happening, but there is always a reason. And so all those 5s that I mentioned just a few moments ago, here they are on the table. Did I mention also this Empress is tied to the planet Venus, ruler of the signs of Taurus, Libra, and Gemini. Don't think I did mention that. At the root of foundation, it is Major Arcana card 1, the Magician. There's magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. The Magician also most directly represents the sign of Gemini, and it is about being able to make a focused intention and bring any and everything toward that you wish to, and some shit that you don't wish to. If you're focused on the wrong things, you focus on negative stuff, you're going to bring that to you. You have the ability to draw it all, right? Our minds are very powerful, and right now, very much so for us all. The heart of the matter, Major Arcana card 0 is back again, the Fool. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. So let's get a little bit more into this. There is conflict. Again, there's a need to weigh the pros and cons about this leap of faith, particularly for the masculine. He is very much conflicted. So again, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship that you're afraid to move back towards, which it can definitely be. The King of Wands is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. So this could be representative of him being over here, all up in the feminine's energies, but conflicted on his own side as to whether he should make that kind of move and maybe try to make a comeback. Maybe it's an ex or something. You've got some thinking to do, masculine, and you can take your time and do that in the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, we can have you strong enough and confident enough in yourself to take this leap of faith and this risk. Aside from that, in terms of the feminine, all on her own, right? We already have this empowerment, this very empowering energy. This is an energy, again, of power, of leadership, taking charge of your own life, not letting anybody push you around or anything. It's very Mars, right? Aggression, action. The Chariot, again, is a card of victory. It's a card of movement, and it's forward, right? Chariot doesn't roll backwards. So in thinking of it in terms of the Fool, taking a risk and being a winner, right? Coming out a winner in that risk. And maybe being tired, and especially in this placement, this is our subconscious, this is our mind where we're thinking about it. You could be thinking, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. But again, you're almost at the finish line. So keep going. Keep that confidence up. Keep yourself focused on that positive, hold that positive focus intention so that you can manifest what you want. Take your risk, jump in, invest in yourself, and start a new adventure. Further advice to the masculine. It's another one of these kind of cards. You need to pick up your energy, masculine. This is all very potentially stuck in a holding pattern of like negative emotions, things like regret, resentment, the inability to forgive, fear, ego, pride. You got to let go of this kind of stuff, because why? It's causing you to miss an opportunity because you're too stuck in discontentment and boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Look what the feminine has going on over there. Or don't even worry about her, maybe. Look what you could have going on right here, the heart of the matter. New adventure. For the feminine, Major Arcana card 21, the World with Archangel Michael. Job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. So the World for me is a card of something is coming full circle. It's come to an end. It's an end of a phase or a situation, a circumstance, a living condition, a job, a relationship. And it's coming to an end in a way that allows us to be eased into something that is better for us without instant like trauma or whatever. Whereas like the Tower, for example, is very abrupt, and it could be something that happens totally unexpected, and maybe we're just not ready for it, and it gives us a shake. This is like, it could involve something unexpected happening, but it's not really unexpected. Like say you get laid off from your job, because that can be what this is tied to sometimes. And you didn't expect to necessarily get laid off today, but you kind of saw it coming, like, over the course of, you can see that the business is going out a bit. We're not doing well. We haven't bounced back from whatever. So it's probably going to go out of business. I'm probably going to get laid off, and so it's sort of like you're being eased out of it. And it could be from even a place that maybe you should have quit a long time ago yourself. Like you probably should have, and you didn't. So now this is happening. But the universe has something better for you. And again, it's the universe is going to soften the blow too. It's not going to be Tower-like. It's going to be like you're going to be all right in the meantime, if that's the case. So the World tends to feel like fire to me. I haven't attributed it to any one fire sign or another, but it feels like fire. So it could be connected to an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or perhaps again Mars or Jupiter. And it is Major Arcana card 21 equals 3, sort of like the opposite of Major Arcana card 12, the Hangman, which is also representative here in the placement where it was of the fire signs, or is the fire sign card. So you could feel like you're in some sort of holding pattern again, and you need to make a decision about allowing something come to an end. And you should feel comfortable making that decision and letting it go, particularly if you're a fire sign, feminine and or female. And I want to find a card from the other deck for each archetype. So just looking for the next one. It's so funny when I mix the cards up and like practically all of one deck ends up together. So weird. Okay, so from the Animal Tarot, masculine, your card is the Three of Swords. Yeah, you're just really going through something here. And you may end up finding yourself separating from something or someone, letting something go. Something could be going on with somebody's mother too. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. So I think it has a lot to do with dealing with your own negative emotions. And I just went over what those things are. You can rewind the video back a little bit to sort of listen and figure out onto which of those you may be holding and let them go. Or, again, do some introspection and maybe go into wherever you feel spiritually connected to do some thinking about this, where you're feeling conflicted about things, or you're having conflict with another person and trying to figure out how to resolve it. Feminine, for us, Major Arcana card 9, another card I talked about, in energy I talked about, the Hermit, which again represents the sign of Virgo. Take some time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within, and be a beacon for others on their path towards spiritual enlightenment. Some of us may find ourselves doing that for a masculine and or possibly male energy in our lives this week, helping them to gain some sort of clarity and maybe again in spiritual connection, understanding, growth, awareness. Hope you guys have enjoyed the general reading. I will be back with the love reading soon. Namaste.